go!
Welcome in, everyone, to Not E3 Day 6. It is the Ubisoft and Capcom conference. We're about to roll directly in right now as this ad for Just Dance 2024 ends. Happy to have everybody here, but here comes the show. Let's jump directly into it. Looking forward to Assassin's Creed announcements. Among other things, let us know what you're excited about in the chat. Oh, they're going directly into Just Dance 2024. Wait, what? Olympic esports? You can compete? I'm so confused. It's an actual Olympic event. I have no words. I have absolutely no words. I guess I see why they disabled chat. Because how do you not comment on that? All right, this is massive.
The RDA's greed poisoned our world.
Secure the perimeter. All threats must be
Really?
They took everything from us. From me. I was trained in their ways, their technology, their weapons. Things that a Nazi should not know. And then one day, they left.
Hell's Gate is under attack. Evacuate now. Kill all the Navi children.
But before they did, Our teacher saved us and put us to sleep.
This is your only chance to survive.
And there I remained for 15 years. Until one day, I awoke. And I was free. Free to explore my world. Free to decide who I was going to be.
It's a Avatar skinned Mirror's Edge.
What I was meant to do.
Now you see what they kept you from. Your true home.
Now Pandora is under attack again.
Don't let the Na'vi get in our way. Get rid of them.
And I have a choice to make. I choose to protect my home.
Wow, it's Mirror's Edge with actual first-person shooting.
I was a child of two worlds. I am no longer. I am Na'vi. Sivako.
Oh, they're doing this in front of an actual crowd? Wonder if it's just all Ubisoft employees.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Jim Cameron, the creator of Avatar and Avatar: The Way of Water.
Hi,
In
Crodad.
both of these films,
Hi, Mrs. Dark.
we set out to imagine
Good
another
morning.
world.
Yeah, it
A
actually
world
looks
rich and
interesting.
complex as
It's not
life.
my style of game, but
And we wanted the audience to feel as though they were really on Pandora.
it's not
To
GTA.
dream with their eyes wide open and to explore this world with our characters. And it's always been our vision to embrace technology to allow us to find new ways outside the cinema to immerse people in this world. Our friends at Ubisoft share this same ambition, and the team at Massive have been pushing the boundaries of what's possible in games to bring a new corner of Pandora to life. So with Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, our creative team at Lightstorm has
Massive
been able to
generally makes
share
good
their
games
insights
too, so
with Massive's talented team, who are experts in creating living open worlds. Together, we'll be able to bring players to the Western frontier with new environments, new flora and fauna, and new characters, and an original story that coexists with the events of the Avatar films. We can't wait for you to join this adventure, and we look forward to welcoming you back to the world of Avatar once again.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dina Dainfeld, and as the game director, I'm proud to be representing the team behind Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora today, and excited to share a sneak peek of what we've been working on. In this all-new story, you'll set out on a journey of discovery to unravel the mysteries of your past, learn what it means to be Na'vi, and explore new parts of Pandora on land.
I mean, to be Na'vi, all you have to do is say, hey, listen.
Our ambition is to create a playground where curiosity is rewarded. This tangible and highly immersive first-person experience will allow you to closely connect to
Nice.
a beautiful open world.
That's cool,
touch
girl.
and interact with it using your size, your superhuman strength, and your natural agility to gain the upper hand. As the Na'vi say, Sivako, let's rise to the challenge on December 7th. Until
Oh,
then,
December 7th.
we're delighted to show you a glimpse of this adventure. So prepare to lose yourselves in the beauty and the danger of the Western frontier. Thank you.
Yeah, it is soon. I'm actually surprised about that. No, I figure we're going to have a lot of that stuff. Mrs. Darkraiser, is that when you set up Home Alone style traps for him when he gets back?
Welcome to Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, a first-person action-adventure game that invites you to explore the engaging world of Avatar in an immersive open-world experience. I'm Didi Dienfeld, game director, and I'm excited to reveal what's waiting for you on Pandora. The story of our game begins when the RDA expands their operations to the western frontier. John Mercer, one of the leaders of the RDA, abducts you and other Na'vi children from your home to teach you the ways of humans, hoping to mold you and turn you against your own people. But his plan is interrupted by the Battle of the Hallelujah Mountains, and you are put into emergency cryosleep. When you awaken 15 years later, you are a stranger in your birthplace. Knowing the dangers posed by the RDA, you set out to take them down and look to secure the help of other Na'vi clans. Initially, you're perceived as an outsider, so you have to reconnect with your lost Na'vi heritage to gain their trust. On your adventure, you'll find your own path as you discover what it means to be Na'vi. You'll explore new regions of Pandora, each with their own unique biomes. The Kinglor Forest is a lush rainforest brimming with life and dense vegetation in the shade of awe-inspiring floating mountains. This is the home of the Arana.
Yeah, this would be interesting in VR.
Who will guide you on your first hunt and on your first flight. The Aranahe will show you the way to the Rookery, where you can bond for life with your very own Ikram. The Ikram is a devoted companion that you can name, feed, and customize. Experiment with acrobatics and feel a rush of adrenaline as you dive from the sky and explore the open world of Pandora from the air. If you travel north, you'll get to the upper plains. An expansive grassland filled with contrasts.
Not necessarily, Crow. There's actually a lot of inputs on those hand controllers.
The Seswa clan live here in symbiosis.
Plus, you've got the dual analog sticks.
It's called Sakru. Earn the clan's trust, and they will teach you the art of riding dire horses. And further west, the mysterious clouded
This game seems super ambitious.
Hidden in the mist, nothing is as it seems. Here lives the Kamatiri, a clan of healers with their own dark reasons to stay hidden. RDA operations.
I never watched the first one because it never interested me.
They build facilities of all sizes to exploit resources at any
I've
cost,
mostly heard
devastating
not the greatest things.
In the process, animals
For the second
are
one?
hurt and poached. You'll need to stop the RDA from ravaging your home. And when you are ready, you will take the fight to them. As a child of two worlds, you can learn to master multiple combat styles. Your powerful instincts allow you to get an overview of the battlefield, mark your enemies, and identify weak points. Traditional Na'vi weapons are versatile and precise. You can use the longbow to hit long-range targets, or the staff sling to set up traps. For a more explosive approach, you can leverage your human training and go for the blast of an assault rifle, a shotgun, or go bigger with the occasional rocket launcher. On foot, you can also rely on your incredible strength to take down amp units. Above the clouds, your Ikran will help you in aerial combat against the RDA. Destroying RDA facilities will have a tangible impact on your world.
It'll open the next radio tower so you can see the rest of the map.
With the pollution removed, Pandora heals. You'll be able to harvest the best quality material again, and craft better gear and weapons. You will also find ingredients to cook, and make meals to get stronger. As you keep discovering what it truly means to become Na'vi, you'll improve your skills by connecting to Awa through the Tarshu plant, and learn from the memories of your ancestors. Skill upgrades can improve many aspects of your character, such as your natural agility to move through the world, your stealth approach when hunting or fighting, or the handling of your weapons and mounts. Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is a captivating action-adventure game designed to maximize the power of new-gen consoles and PC. You will be able to play the full story campaign in single-player or with a friend online in 2-player co-op.
Oh, wow, 2-player co-op.
We invite you to explore this world of wonder. Become Navi and take down the RDA to protect Pandora.
That moved it from a most likely not to a possibly maybe for me.
Let's go, chat.
They did not bring back Aisha Tyler this year, it looks like.
Another gun? Oh my. Another one.
This feels great.
I got 2. Oh my. Oh! The kill streak! I'm going crazy! I'm going next game's mode!
I should do it.
Yeah, that feels good. That feels good. Oh my shield. What the? It's gonna be gentle with the tap. But yeah, this scope is so good.
Oh my god, brother.
See? Gentle.
Yeah, now I'm just in flow right now.
That's a 5-piece. Oh,
Dude, this game's fun, man. This game's great.
I made some critical damage. What about you?
I'm so excited about this game in general.
I mean, I love like the pacing of the game, though. I think like it all just works. You know what I'm saying?
What game is it? Defiant? X-Defiant. Looks like an arena first-person shooter.
Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Mark Rubin, executive producer on X-Defiant. What you just saw was a collection of live clips and reactions from players streaming our game during our closed beta test in April. And we've been absolutely overwhelmed by the amazing response to our game from players all over the world. Now, for us, community has really been the core of this game's development. And we've had 28 public tests so far, with the recent closed beta being the largest, and of course, the first with no NDA. And throughout all of these tests, we've done our best to listen and respond to the feedback of players. So thank you so much to the more than 1.5 million players who have participated in those tests, and the countless creators and streamers who shared their footage and feedback about X-Defiant. Now we're ready to look towards the future. We are currently planning on launching later this summer. But before we do that, we will be holding another test to address some of the feedback from the closed beta. This open session will be available to everyone on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S from June 21st to June 23rd. This is a short test, but we are opening it to everyone to get as much feedback as possible on our new netcode, our controller tuning, and of course, to stress out the servers as much as possible. So if you have not played X-Defiant yet, this is your chance.
Are you going to tell me what it is?
Let's talk about what's going to happen when we launch later this summer. We will start with a 6-week preseason that will have all of our launch content with 14 maps, 5 factions, 24 weapons, and much, much more. We then move into our year 1 content schedule, which is packed with some really exciting content, with 4 brand new meta-changing factions, each with unique characters and skills.
I mean, I guess I do have to guess what it is.
New maps. That's one new map every month.
Do factions
all
get
inspired
superpowers?
by Ubisoft's amazing worlds. And I think you may really be surprised at where we go. Year one is really going to have a lot of great gameplay content, all focused on creating a
I don't know what it
arcade
is.
FPS experience. And we are
I mean,
committed to
I know it's a
staying
FPS.
true to our community and to strive to make X Defiant the best place to compete and have fun. Now, it's been quite the journey to get to this point.
I think
Thank
so.
you again to all of the players that supported X Defiant so far. And for everyone who hasn't yet had the chance,
I mean, from the
hope to see
footage,
you in game soon. Thank you.
it looked like a arena FPS. I'm hoping there's a trailer that explains it more. Nope, we're just moving on to Prince of Persia. That was a... That was a maybe we'll hook them by not telling them everything kind of presentation right there. Oh look, when you kill them, they turn into rose petals. Self-cleaning bad guys. Actually, they did show gameplay earlier on this, Crow. So I doubt we'll see a ton of this. This guy can take a beating. I had thought there'd be more than one initially, but I think it's probably just the prince now.
Hi everyone, it's so exciting to be with you today. About 30 years ago, in 1989, I discovered a great action-adventure game, both challenging my skills and respecting my cleverness. It was Prince of Persia. I am Munir.
Yeah, that's why I had thought that, but again, I don't know why you would do this in front of just
a new chapter.
Your own company.
In legendary Persia, in an era where the laws of mortals were ruled by the laws of gods. You are Sargon, a fearless sword prodigy, the youngest member of a squad of 7 elite warriors, the Immortals.
It seems very disingenuous to me.
Prince Hassan, sole heir to the throne, is abducted and taken to her hostile and cursed land, Mount Kaf. You and your brothers in arms are sent on a rescue mission to save Prince Hassan. However, this assignment will cast you straight into the lion's den. And it is here that you, Sargon, and the whole kingdom must prepare to face the greatest threat of your lives. This is your story. In Mount Kaf, your destiny awaits. When entering Mount Kaf, your mission is clear. Find Prince Hassan and bring him back to Persepolis. However, Mount Kaf becomes a prison full of hostile inhabitants. Now separated from your allies, you discover a grand citadel full of mysteries, where time flows differently.
What is this sorcery?
The past coexists with the future. In this cursed land, exploration is everything. This is a semi-open world that delivers new secrets as you find new powers.
Yeah, see, I thought so too.
But to reach new areas, you have to master your
Oh, it's not the...
and
I thought it is the
timing,
prince.
a trademark of Prince of Persia. During this epic journey, you won't be the only one trapped in Mount Kaf.
Goddess and blacksmith to the gods.
Some dwellers are willing to help you, while others are more reluctant. But Sargon is a swordsman like no other. He is a fierce warrior, known for being elusive, ruthless, and extremely skillful on the battlefield. Fueled by anger, he constantly puts his life on the line to perform devastating attacks. Time powers are back. But this time,
What the hell was that?
not only in your hands. To face such a challenge, master a new side of his time powers and defy gravity. By combining all these skills together, you can express your creativity.
It definitely seems like God of War, Metroidvania.
And execute brutal combos in epic combats.
Good amount of gameplay, though. I just wish they'd show the feed and not him on the stage.
And that's just a glimpse of what Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is all about. I'd like to thank Matrix, who composed the in-game music you are just listening to. And of course, my fantastic team at Ubisoft Montpellier. We cannot wait for you to get your hands on the game. It releases on January 18, 2024 on all platforms. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Hi. My name is Adi Shankar. I'm a TV and movie producer. You may know me from the Castlevania animated series on Netflix, or one of my fan fiction shorts on YouTube. 7 years ago, I got a call from Ubisoft offering me the opportunity to adapt one of their very serious franchises into an anime. But instead, I came back to them with a crazy concept inspired by the mood of Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. Yeah. This concept used Ubisoft's vast library of characters and remixed them into one delirious anime series that would become this love letter to the 90s. Or at least how I remember the 90s. And to my absolute surprise, Ubisoft said no. Just kidding. They said yes. That's why I'm up here. Come on. This is the story of how the first anime series by Ubisoft was born. Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix. This show is many things. It's violent. It's a dystopian fiction in the spirit of the works of Aldous Huxley. It's a spoof. It's a satire. It's dark comedy. It's a love story. And as a descendant of Indian mystics,
yeah, I agree,
tell
Miss
you it's the
Starkrazor.
most philosophically conscious show you've watched in a long time. The series was picked up by Netflix. It was animated by the renegade genius pirates at Bobby Pill's studio. And today, I'm very happy to announce that barring an apocalypse, which may happen, it will be released worldwide later this year. And that's not all. I'm even more excited to share with you an action-packed, Easter egg-filled teaser trailer right now.
You want to be entertained? Don't change the channel. Join the revolution. Let's do this.
It's a frog Assassin's Creed. Yeah, this is the wrong feels for the Division. Wrong song. The whole point about the Division was that it was basically a horrific thing that happened. So don't put bright cherry punk pop. Yeah, I mean, it's life or death. It's not, Yeah, so this is the mobile game. Yeah, they'd had this one in the works for a while. Oh, there's been plenty, John, that I've been excited about. Indies have been knocking it out of the park this year.
It's an honor for us to be here with you today. We're home free, and this is our song Skull and Bones.
Starfield does look good.
The seas forever.
Still I'm not but skull and bones,
Sure.
Outcast a kingpin with
Skull and Bones.
There was meant to walk the land.
I can't remember if I signed an NDA or not. Let's just put it that way. I think it looks like a good day. A good. I think it looks like a good game. It's got some interesting concepts. I don't actually think I can discuss anything. No. I don't think I would be remiss in saying we had fun.
A pirate's life for me, I found.
I'm still I've never played it, Crodad. I don't have I never loaded on PC. Yes, definitely, and that's what the engine it's based off of is Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That's publicly known. Oh, they're doing another closed beta. So this is a DLC showcase for all their current games. I was so disappointed in the crew, too, because they made it cheap with rubber banding, so that if you were in the lead, the PC would rubber band up into first place, and then you had to beat them again. Ken and I are both super frustrated with that. What does that mean? So this is going to be the new crew. Well, that's what I was saying, Mrs. Darkrazor. They shouldn't have done it this way, because it's just Ubisoft there. like the devs and stuff from Ubisoft. So it would have been better if they would have just done it like Apple style with no audience. So none of this is actual gameplay footage, so why do I... Oh, they're gonna have actual licensed cars this time?
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. 5 years ago, the Crew 2 took off. Now, each month, millions of thrill seekers, just like you, are enjoying, playing, eager to see what's next. I am Stéphane Bellet, Creative Director of the Crew. Thanks. Hey. Today, at last, it is my pleasure to introduce the future of the Crew, Motorfest, our own new take on the action-driving genre, a celebration for car lovers to share and experience car culture fantasy on the beautiful island of Oahu in Hawaii. No matter how you enjoy cars and driving, on your own or with your crew, Motorfest has something for everyone. Motorfest, your portal to a medley of high-octane experiences. You choose how you like to have fun with your cars. This is what Motorfest playlists are all about. Playlists are truly at the heart of Motorfest. Want to immerse yourself in the most exciting worlds of car culture? Yeah. Dive into the legacy of the world's most influential automakers. Light up the night street racing scene, Japanese style. Unleash the cutting-edge power of electric supercars. And this is just a taste. For the first time ever, we leave the US mainland behind. Our festival has landed in one of the most breathtaking and vibrant places on Earth, Oahu. Let's find out why Oahu is the perfect playground.
There's less than 14 miles of road.
Race through the city street of Honolulu. Barrel up black ash covered slopes. Adventure deep into lush rainforests. Or cruise the dunes at sunset with your friends. Opportunities for fun and challenges are endless. A unique playground like this calls for a profusion of vehicles. Choose and customize your ride with one of the most diverse lineups ever, from past, present, and future. Recognize the latest from Lamborghini? I think so, yeah, I know. You are as thrilled as I am to get behind the wheel of this beauty. Hey, some of you have spent a lot of energy building the perfect vehicle collection in The Crew 2. In a few weeks, you will be able to import your vehicle collection into The Crew Motorfest for free. Thanks. So stay tuned for more news about the collection import and our complete festival program later this month during our summer showcase. Since the beginning of the year, thousands of players have tested the game and given us priceless feedback through the Insider program. Join the party, register now for closed beta, and share with the world your experience in July. From the entire team at Ubisoft Ivory Tower, mahalo, thank you. Welcome to Motorfest. Enjoy the ride.
All right, this is at least in engine, although it's most likely a replay, but that's okay. No release date. Oh, September 14th. All right. There's too many games this year. Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. I will be surprised if this is not also coming to PSVR too. I'm curious to know how they made this palpable to movement in VR, but I'm sure they figured their way out to do it.
Hi everyone. I hope you enjoyed that first look at this exciting new way to play Assassin's Creed. Coming to MetaQuest this holiday, Assassin's Creed Nexus will push the boundaries of VR and let you become the assassin. You will feel what it means to parkour, fight, and be stealthy in new memories from three legendary assassins: Ezio, Cassandra, and Connor. I cannot wait to see our players feel the thrill of virtual reality in the Assassin's Creed universe. But there is more. Nexus is not the only game that will offer new ways to play Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Codename Jade is our first open-world RPG game on mobile. It will take you to ancient China in a time of intrigue and conspiracy. In this brand new adventure, you'll experience the iconic Assassin's Creed gameplay for free, anywhere, anytime. I am glad to announce that you can register now for the upcoming beta. Here's a glimpse of what you can expect.
Yeah, because they can't show any of the VR stuff. I mean, they can, it just doesn't translate very well.
Legacy. It's honoring those that came before us, learning from their triumphs and mistakes, to illuminate and hold their stories to the light for all to see. That inheritance of knowledge helps to guide and shape our future. Now it's your turn to build on those foundations.
I wonder what their monetization model is for a free-to-play Assassin's Creed. All right, Crawdad, we'll be here.
To make your own legacy.
We've all been waiting for this moment. Assassin's Creed Mirage is a very special game, designed as an homage to the first titles of the series that many of us fell in love with. Coming October 12th, Assassin's Creed Mirage takes the franchise back to its roots. Sarah, our narrative director for the game, will come on stage to tell you more about Basim and his journey. But before that, let's watch our story trailer.
What are you doing?
Don't think.
Time to put my medal on.
Fulath, tell Basim the story of the feather.
Our tradition of the feather comes from Egypt. The feathers of the heron were dipped in the blood of the targets. The feathers forge our paths, remind us of who we are, who we can be.
The Order has held dominion over men and their empires for centuries. Strike quickly and end this.
Swallow your questions. Serve without complaint. Who is she to tell you when to strike?
Everything you do serves the Hidden Ones. That is a strange kind of freedom.
You are not the first to walk the shadows broken. Pour your pain into the Brotherhood.
We are messengers of justice, and not the final judges.
He knows not what he is. Have you not wondered that's your nature?
What does it mean to be free? What must be sacrificed in the quest for freedom and justice the hidden ones fiercely pursue? How can you find your path and fulfill your destiny when you don't know who you really are? As he grows from street thief to master assassin, Basim thinks he has found a sense of purpose as a hidden one, working in the dark to serve the light. But his nightmarish visions keep haunting him, leading to more questions with no answer. In Baghdad, seeking the truth comes with a price. The capital of the Abbasid Empire, one of the richest, most diverse, and most advanced cities in the world, is at a turning point of its history. Unrest is growing, seeding a revolution against corruption and arbitrary justice, an uprising that will turn the tides of history and change the lives of everyone. Childhood friends, fellow hidden ones, as well as newly formed allies and enemies will shape Basim's adventure. But his horrific visions are the face of a struggle that he can only handle alone. There is a lot to look forward to in Assassin's Creed Mirage, and the best way to make you understand our unique Back to the Roots experience is to show you the game. In the following gameplay walkthrough, we meet Basim right after the assassination of his first main target, as he reports back to Roshan in Harbiya's Assassin Bureau. Enjoy.
It looks really good. The graphics are great, the animations look great.
There you are.
Don't let him escape!
Time to vanish.
Get back here, dog!
I mean, I get that people don't look up, but perspective is a problem for these.
Stand and fight, you worm! You're dead! Getting away!
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I am glad you're safe.
Alhamdulillah. A first of many achievements to come, Basim.
We should only hope. There's still much work to do. While our focus was on Al Ghul, Fulov quietly scouted the city for where we could erect more bureaus.
I have found dwellings in 3 districts that are most unassuming. Abid and Rebecca have arrived from Alamut and set off to Al Abyssiya and Karh. I will make my way to Sharqiya shortly.
And I will join Rebecca in Karh, where corruption is as common as the arid air. See Abu Ja'far about some things he's been working on. Then come find us.
Have a look, Basim. I may have something that is of interest to you.
Low dart? Alright.
Resourceful as always. My thanks, Abu Ja'far.
Do we not have
This is the place. What do you see, Enkidu?
Current gameplay?
Let us reconsider the approach. Act as usual.
That guard who likes me said she and Ali's followers are trying to overthrow the prince.
What madness! They will surely fail.
Tiptoe through the tulips. Lose your blow dart.
She little bastards!
Oh, you're gonna leave the guy that's blow darted.
What? Hey! Die now!
Hey! The sky is safe, my friend. Survey the area, Enkidu.
I mean, how's he getting?
My target.
How's he getting intel from the bird? I mean, sure, whatever. Oh yeah?
What I wish to know, and no more need die this day.
Assassinate him now.
Thank you so much.
Come on. There he is! Stop him! No! Where is the sword? He must face the law!
Yeah, I mean, looks straightforward, but the intrigue of the initial games was the dual story, so I'm curious if there's going to be any of that or not.
Hello, everyone. So first, I want to start by saying thank you to all gamers all around the world. It's thanks to you that we are here today. You are at the heart of everything we do. And to all Ubisoft teams around the world as well, I would like to say a big thank you. Your talent and passion are at the foundation of this fantastic lineup. So I hope you are all excited to explore the amazing playground you have seen today. At Ubisoft, we are creators of worlds. We are also proud to partner with some of the biggest names in entertainment to create original stories in beloved universes. Now, I am very happy to welcome Julian from Ubisoft Massive to give you a first look at Star Wars Outlook and gameplay. So thank you. Julian?
Oh, here we go. Outlaw gameplay.
Calm down. Do you want to see gameplay or not? All right. Let's get over the speech and let's get to the gameplay. Star Wars Outlaws takes place in a time of great civil unrest across the galaxy. For some, this is a time of turmoil. For outlaws, this is a time of opportunity. As a cunning thief, Kay Vess and her companion Nyx fight for survival every single day, relying on their skills and resourcefulness to get by. As they struggle to make ends meet, Kay and Nyx dream of the day that they will finally be free. But while seeking this freedom, Kay unexpectedly becomes one of the galaxy's most wanted. So to free herself from the bounty that follows her, Kay will need to pull off one of the greatest heists the Outer Rim has ever seen. As they navigate the underworld, caught between criminal syndicates and vicious, ruthless villains, Kay and Nyx will manage their reputation by taking on risky contracts and navigating complex relationships, all whilst avoiding oppressive imperial rule. Kay and Nyx's journey will take them across the galaxy through stunning, varied open-world locations and the wilds of space. One of these locations is Tashara, a moon that features windswept savanna and amberine canyons. Carved into Tashara's striking landscape, the city of Miragana serves as a central hive of scum and villainy. Kay and Nyx will encounter several criminal syndicates that learn that everything is measured in the value of influence, reputation, or cold, hard credits. This presents an abundance of opportunities and dangers for a young, ambitious scoundrel like Kay. On behalf of Massive in Sweden, along with Ubisoft Annecy, Barcelona, Bucharest, Chengdu, Milan, Montpellier, Paris, Shanghai, Toronto, and our amazing team at Lucasfilm Games, it's our privilege to present to you this first ever look at Star Wars Outlaws gameplay. If you're willing to take the risk, the galaxy is full of opportunity. Thank you.
Bet he's a fun guy to work for. Actually, I have no idea.
Good boy.
I want that fighter stripped for parts by tomorrow.
On it. All right, Nix. Let's go get paid. That worked.
He's the boss because he knows how to handle the Empire.
We cannot trust those officers. They take our credits now, but what stops them from stabbing us in the back?
Nix. Hit that button. Nice one. Hang on tight, little buddy.
Is the whole thing stealth action, I wonder? I mean, we have seen flying shots, so there's going to be space combat, I'm sure.
Hey, I was just leaving.
Okay, well, there's my question.
Okay, we'll figure this out.
Third person.
Ugh, shield. Hey, Nick! Catch!
I prefer third person to first person, so
This is getting bad.
for me it is, but I mean, I get what you're saying.
Let's try this out. Dink Ferric! I think that went pretty well, right?
Oh, seamless to land speeder action.
Oh, these guys don't quit.
They're just now showing off Star Wars Outlaws. And you missed like all the Assassin's Creed stuff.
That was close. ND5, I got the package. Where are you?
Waiting for you in Jauntus Hope. Were you seen?
I said I got it. What else matters?
Should I assume we won't be working for the Pikes anytime soon?
Well, they'll probably forgive me.
Comforting.
There's Jauntus Hope. We made it, Nix.
I mean, it looks really good. I'm just waiting for you to cross the road and get run over by a land speeder game over. As you try to cross the street without looking first.
Hey, Andy.
You're late, Kay. Doc is waiting.
What? Are you worried?
No.
Okay.
No, but you, Troy.
What?
Be careful. Donka's a broker, not a friend. She can't be trusted.
Who can out here? See you back at the ship.
I mean, no clipping of any of the hair through the skin. It looks good.
Kay Vess. Back already? I told you she's fresh, but she's good.
Who's this?
Just a friend. Join us.
job was more complicated than you said, Danka.
You lived. Hey, these aren't toys. They're investments.
Wait.
We haven't met.
Don't really know many of you.
Stealing illegal contraband, running with syndicates. I could say you're a threat to the Empire. But I won't have to, if you're smart.
Thanks, but I'm smart enough to get myself out of trouble.
You pay the tax just like everyone else.
Whoa, kid, let's just relax.
You won't make it off to Shara alive.
Maybe.
All troopers, we have reports of a fugitive in Jaunter's Hope. Move to apprehend.
That Imperial announcement wouldn't be about you, would it?
Could be.
I told you not to trust her.
Not the first time we've outrun the Empire.
We need to leave.
Yeah, no kidding.
I like that everything's seamless.
Are we good?
Nothing on the sensors yet.
Anybody on the sensors now?
TIE fighters on us.
Got one!
I feel inclined to remind you that we should shake the Empire. Quickly.
Thanks, I'm working on it. ND, get us out of here.
Spooling hyperdrive.
Let's jump. We made it.
I mean, the graphics look great.
Hey.
This seems really good, actually.
Got your new toy.
So, where do we go next?
Anywhere we want.
And it looks like it gives you different ways to complete the missions, whether you want to do stealth or you want to do... It looks good. Is that Athena? It is Athena. What the hell? The wrestler Athena. Just hanging out in the front row.
I'll be back.
Thank you for the lurk, Leona. Hello there.
Hi, my name is Umberly Gonzalez, and I play Kay Vess in Star Wars Outlaws. Kay Vess is a thief. She's a scoundrel. She's really good at sneaking around. You know, she's charming and she'll like talk to you, but she's already taking all your things. She isn't perfect at it, but she always seems to get away with it.
Kay really finds herself in a bit of a jam. You know, she's got a bounty on her back and is trying to find work. That's when she starts.
I hope you're having a wonderful day, Leona.
Kind of like this underworld business. I kind of like this world, and she's trying to thrive on it.
She has to survive because nobody else will save her unless it's her. The only person that she has is her companion, Nyx. They're not even human, but that is the closest thing she has to feeling a part of something in the world.
I also think that Nyx, in a lot of ways, is kind of an extension of Kay, both in a gameplay sense or a story sense, you know. In gameplay, she allows Kay to do things she never thought possible. And in the story, it's also a way for Kay to kind of sense when something's off or see an opportunity or that kind of thing. Really, they're completely connected.
Effectively trying to find this
that relationship.
balance
I'm so excited
between
for
the
people
intimacy
to meet
of,
Nyx because
you know,
they're gonna fall in love with him too.
Outlaws takes place right between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, so it's the civil war between the rebellion and the Empire. That has actually created this pocket of opportunity for syndicates and criminal organizations to rise up in that space. We've got the Pikes, we've got the Hutts, we've got a new syndicate that we've crafted for this game called the Ashiga Clan. And one of the phrases we always held on to was this notion of you live and die by your reputation. So it's really exciting for Kay and hopefully for players.
She's so fearless. You'll see her just go for it, and there's no stopping her, even when there's danger involved. Even when there's fear underneath it, she'll never let you see it. Not really.
For a scoundrel story, you know, you really have to ask yourself, when is enough enough? How far is Kay willing to go to land that big score? And those are questions she's going to tackle through the whole story. We worked with Lucasfilm every step of the way in crafting the story, and they were an invaluable partner in helping us create and craft this thing. They were really embracing us with open arms in terms of, hey, we want to focus on the underworld, we want to focus on an outlaw navigating through that space, but we're sort of there to help guide and point out, like, hey, here's an opportunity you might not have looked at, or there's a character you might want to consider. So really it was a partnership through and through.
I feel like this is one of the biggest, if not the biggest franchise of our lifetime. The themes, like everything, has just been a part of our world. And for me and for the world of Star Wars, I know that people are gonna love this game, not just for how amazing the gameplay is, but like the story itself, to see a young girl become a woman and become an outlaw. What, are you worried?
No,
Umberlee's energy, her humor, her wit, all of that really has kind of helped inform the character. She has a way of jumping between that matinee action, high stakes tone to shifting to really intimate, really personal performances that make you connect to Kay.
Getting to bring my own heart and then mix it in with that confidence and her toughness and her charm and wit, it's really fun. It makes her very endearing, even though she's a very tough person.
You won't make it off to Shara alive. Maybe.
And yeah, it kind of feels like she was always meant to be Kay. She informs it in every way.
I love bringing a character like this to life, and it's an honor, honestly, to be a part of this world. It's definitely a dream come true, and I'm still doing it, so literally like about to hop and do a scene right now. So it's all just exciting, and I feel now I'm really locked into the character. The team is amazing, and I feel very supported.
They use hand puppets for the dog. That's kind of interesting.
I was meant to play this role. Make sure to catch me alongside with some developers and cast members at Comic-Con International this July in San Diego.
Hello and welcome to the Star Wars Outlaws official gameplay walkthrough breakdown. I'm Chastity Vicencio with Ubisoft News, and I'm joined by narrative director Naveed Kavari, creative director Julian Garrity, and game director Matthias Carlson, who are going to give us more information about what we saw in the gameplay walkthrough.
That's interesting.
Here we go. And this is our first ever introduction to Nyx.
Nyx is a Merkal, a rare and exotic creature whose home planet still remains a mystery. He's got a very curious personality, as you can see here. He can be a bit stubborn, but he has an incredibly strong bond with Kay and always follows her lead. She's grown up with Nyx for most of her life. He's not just a pet, he's family.
Good boy.
And here we have Kay. First introduction to a brand new scoundrel in this galaxy.
Kay is a young thief who's found herself on the moon of Tashara, which is a hive of underworld activity. She's picked up a
I don't know, but it has become pretty big.
Dragonan. Mollusk-like object from a lieutenant of the Pike Syndicate. Once she's grabbed it with the help of Nyx, she's going to turn it in and earn some much-needed credits.
So Pikes are one of the syndicates that will be tangling with.
Darn those Daniel Pikes.
Star Wars Outlaws. And the Pikes here are borrowing without permission some vehicles from the Empire and the Rebels and different people and cutting them up.
Nyx. Hit that button.
Nyx is more than just a lovable and fierce companion. Nyx is a whole bag of tricks in
yeah, it has become
so
bigger. It's crazy.
From a distance, he can distract guards. He can attack on command. He can help you with puzzles. He can help you discover secrets as well. He is very much conceived as a symbiotic part of the player's control over Kay and Nyx. So we're really thinking of them together as a whole.
I was just leaving.
So when we meet Kay in the beginning of the game, she knows her way around the blaster. It's not necessarily her first option or primary tool to solve a problem or a situation. However, as we progress through the game and its ever more dangerous situation, both Kay and the blaster itself will evolve and improve. And you will soon find it to be a central and very versatile tool for more than just directly taking out enemies.
Okay, we'll figure this out.
And Kay's blaster is very meaningful to her. This blaster has a lot of modules that you can discover,
shields
and apply to the blaster that allow you to deal with situations.
Shields deflect shots, so
different ways.
Why didn't it just deflect her shot right back at her instead of giving her an opening? That's the only thing I didn't like out of this whole gameplay thing.
Example of the type of role Nyx can play, even in something like a full-on firefight where that enemy that we took down dropped the gun that he was just about to shoot you with. Nyx can, slink down and retrieve that weapon for you.
Sometimes, best solution is just to get out of there. So ever since we kicked off this project in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games, one of the things that they were passionate about, of course, is authenticity. One of the things we were passionate about is bringing something to the galaxy of Star Wars. And one of the biggest things was this moon, Toshara. And Toshara, we developed, working very closely with Lucasfilm, everything from its vegetation to the wildlife to its deep.
I did not see her get down into a ball and spin quickly.
And even more.
But yes, you're right.
One of the key pillars for both Kay the character and for the core gameplay in general in Star Wars Outlaws is what we call a resourceful underdog. Kay is a capable and daring person.
She has
in gameplay with you having access to a wide range of actions and abilities.
She has John Woo bullet time
as you play through the game, ranging from stealth to full-on firefights. So as we saw here, shooting from, driving your speeder full speed ahead under fire from enemies. We said if we can make the player think like, "Oh, I can't believe I made it," when they just play through something, it's a success.
Kay's reputation with the syndicates will play a big role in how she approaches her journey, whether it's the Pikes, Hutts, or others. We had a saying that in the underworld, you live and die by your reputation. If a job she takes hurts a syndicate, those opportunities aren't available. So her choices play into how she experiences her journey.
There's Jonta's Hope.
This is Jonta's Hope. Jonta's Hope is one of the settlements that we have in the game. So this is a tiny outcrop, an oasis of civilization in these windswept plains. And it usually contains a drinking hole, a cantina, and these are hubs of activity too. So we very much enjoyed developing how it would look and feel and what sort of vibe that cantina would have.
I still expected to see the Grand Theft Auto game over as she got ran over by the land speeder when she turned to go across the road without looking.
And that includes the capital of Miragana, a city on Toshara filled
She
with
probably stole it
underworld activity.
from the way they're describing it.
ND5 is a BX commando built by the Separatists and battle-hardened during the Clone Wars. Nowadays, though, he serves as kind of an enforcer droid in the underworld. He's partnered with Kay as they attempt to pull off a big, high-risk job. It's the opportunity of a lifetime.
Not a friend. She can't be trusted.
Who can out here? See you back at the ship.
So various jobs and favors for the different characters and factions you encounter. They play an important role in everything from learning new things, actually unlocking equipment and abilities, to managing your precious reputation in the underworld, which is the key to some of the most lucrative opportunities out there. Important note though, something that's key to the fantasy of the free scoundrel lifestyle is that you're never in servitude of anyone. You're making your own choices, carving your own path through this world, making a name for yourself.
Job was more complicated than you said, Dunka.
You lived.
Who she works for, whether it's with syndicates or otherwise, is crucial to creating a reputation for herself. And then how she approaches those syndicates through those choices is going to be key to gaining bigger and better rewards, whether it's for credits or priceless artifacts.
Wait.
So nothing in the underworld is black and white, and we wanted to reflect that in the choices she makes when taking on jobs. This is one example of many. Does she just hand over what was stolen, keep a cut for herself, lie about how the job went down or the intel she learned? It's really left up to her.
In these scenes where we're going to give a choice to the player, and these choices, there is no wrong answer. There's just ways to weave your own story, ways to change, challenge, increase your reputation with certain factions and syndicates, decrease it, gain an advantage or a different perspective on the story too. So we put a lot of effort in giving the player agency over their own trajectory.
So the game takes place in the original trilogy era. So the Empire is at the height of its power and reach. So they're always looming there, somewhere in the background, ever watchful.
But as you can see here, we want to show a different side to the Empire and how it intersects with the underworld, and that means corruption. Particularly on Tashara, even though it's Imperial run, the local governors and officers lean into corruption and have worked out special arrangements with the syndicates that benefit them.
So this is the wanted system, and the wanted system is something that's going to be ever present within the game. If you are caught or challenge the Empire, you're going to start to get wanted. And if you continue, you persist, and you do even more actions, that wanted level's just going to go up. At the highest levels, the Empire will throw a huge amount of resistance and forces in your way. So that's something that you can play around with, but you're best off trying to avoid as much as possible.
Very important for us in this experience is that there will always be some way for you to de-escalate or escape.
Oh, this is the Trailblazer. Now, if there's one dream that a lot of game developers have, it's to help design a spaceship for Star Wars. And this is our take on that, the Trailblazer.
I think it looks really
Trailblazer is
boxy.
an EML 850 light freighter from the Republic era, but to Kay, this is home. And if you're a scoundrel traveling throughout the galaxy, the first thing you need...
I kind of really like the idea of this game.
There's none better than
because you've got...
So now we're in space. And, you know, one of the things that was very precious to us is having this seamless experience of going on foot to your speeder, to your spaceship, out of the atmosphere and into space. And space is a dangerous place, but it's a place full of opportunities too. So we'll be using it for combat, both on an intimate dogfighting level, an epic level with bigger ships, but also for discovery, exploration, and special surprises.
Let's jump.
It's important to hit those classic, iconic notes of Star Wars to remind players of the era that they're playing in, and the fact that the galaxy is something that is wide, diverse, but iconic at the same time. One of the things that is important for us is that every planet that you will visit in this adventure has a distinct profile. Not just a very bespoke story, but also wildlife, an ecosystem, and situations that really radically change from location to location. And space is just another part of that. So we're trying to develop distinct profiles for every single orbital region.
We knew from the start when we sat down thinking about this game that we wanted to offer that full seamless experience. You know, sitting in a cantina, in a city on a planet's surface, jumping on your own speeder, driving to your own ship, and as we just saw, seamlessly flying into space is something that we are incredibly pleased and happy and excited that we're able to actually offer.
We really enjoyed making this, and we can't wait for you to experience a new Star Wars adventure.
Yeah, I hope it sells really well for them. Next year, 2024. I am going to take a quick break and let this run.
Bring an action platformer.
I need to grab some food, and then I will be right back.
The DNA of this brand. Of course, this new entry could be super modern, super fresh. And I think this is the reunion of those two things. Our expertise in platforming games and our strong desire to be sure that this is a true Prince of Persia game. Combat system, acrobatic, puzzle, narration. So we knew that because of our experience on Rayman, that we can bring such kind of experience in 2D, but the core experience is a Prince of Persia game.
Sargon is a brand new character in Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. He's the youngest of the immortals, The Immortals are an elite warrior team. They fought and won many battles together.
Let's go then.
We don't embody the prince. The prince is the one we have to rescue. That's one of the different surprises that you will encounter in The Lost Crown. The Mount Caf, which is the place where the adventure takes place, there's a curse. Time seems to be mixed up, doesn't follow anymore its natural flow. The story that one character will live will be different in terms of timeline than the story of his friend, so sometimes the consequences and the causes are mixed up.
How is it possible? They left not long before us.
The starting point was to immerse ourselves in the Persian culture and legacy, which is so rich. When you learn, you have a strong emotion, you are amazed. You want to translate that feeling to the players, a feeling of exploring something new. And we get our inspiration from real places, like palace or temple, and even some natural landscape, like the Iranian forest, which is a real forest.
It was really fresh to have a forest in the franchise of Prince of Persia. I think it will surprise the players. And we have also living elements like platforms that ask you to shoot to activate it. We think that for Prince of Persia it's very important to have demanding platforming. We have level designers are very expert of platforming because they worked on Rayman and things like that. And we also try to have gameplay elements that are unique. So like the bells, you have to shoot to reveal platform. When you create this kind of gameplay element, we have a lot of ideas, so you understand that you could do a navigation puzzle, you could do very tricky platforming, and even you could use it in combat. If you have enemies on it, you just have to shoot the bell and let the enemy fall in the spikes, things like that. I think the strength of our game is that we have characters that is really easy to handle, so we can easily mix combat and platforming.
I like to compare everything that is tied to platforming and combat to a music partition. I see a half and quarter and whole everywhere. And that was something that we use a lot for the platforming and combat. You know, the sense of rhythm. Freedom and creativity was the term that were defining the combat system. Everything is tied to a Sargon personality. He's like inventing his own movement. So it was really important to have the same approach between the way he's moving and the way the player can execute their combos.
So back in the days, Sand of Time had pushed the boundaries standards with a nice and smooth animation. So of course for the Last Crown, we are aiming the highest animation quality as possible. And the goal is to have a really smooth, challenging and responsive gameplay. All the gameplay animation is based on keyframe. Keyframe animation is the way to animate without motion capture. You create everything actually. You just take the puppet, design the line of action, the nice shape of the character and bring it to life. This allows us to masterize the timing and make it more cartoony. If you ask for two actors to grab one by the head and launch it, it's not just possible. So you can create everything with keyframe.
It's really important for us to make sure that this game is modern and respect players' cleverness and autonomy. To be sure that our players feel free to decide what is their next objective, because this is a genre where you are in isolation. This is a feel that you had in the first Prince of Persia.
So it's very important to always give information to players. Sometimes it's obvious, like big gating and the big landmarks. Sometimes it's been more subtle. It lets the player discover the consistency of the world and how everything is connected.
What we have developed is a lot of things. A new lore, new characters, a new combat system, a new art direction, a new narration. So it's something very important to say that this team has made a wonderful job on still working hard to bring a top quality game. Very important to talk about them.
Hello, I'm Jean-Luc Salah. I'm the art director of Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Hi there, I'm Stéphane Boudon, Creative Director on Assassin's Creed Mirage, and today we are going to walk you through our most recent trailer.
Welcome to Baghdad. This is our first glimpse of this vibrant city. We are in the 9th century Middle Ages, and as you can see, it's a dusty and sunny city as expected. But it's also a garden city with a lot of flowers and palm trees.
So Basim is heading back to the bureau. In the way, he stumbled on a specific target he has to kill, so he will take this opportunity to make the assassination. But he will quickly get into trouble.
Yeah, and as we can see, we can already distinguish our first regular enemies, which are the Caliphate Guard, the guys in red. You're going to meet a lot of them.
In the game, we encourage you to flee and to vanish. Basim is a glass cannon character, and this scaffolding ingredient is really one of the ways players have to get out tight situation like that.
This is a water city. It's unexpected. Many people think it's just dust and sand. We can see now corner swings, good old vibes from previous AC games. The first AC games, we are a love letter to the very first one. And here is a carpet. If you don't blink,
Hello.
you can see there is an Assassin's Crest. Just
Good.
here. Carpets are part of the world.
No,
of Mirage.
I just
This
actually
carpet with the
went to
Assassin's
grab
Crest
some food.
on it means you are very,
The
very
Capcom
close
showcase is coming up here at what time? What time are you starting, Capcom? Capcom's starting at 3. So I don't know that there will be full stuff, but I did skip that Final Fantasy thing last night, so I can always go back to that.
That thing was ridiculous.
Yeah, 5 hours. It's
so,
crazy.
A couple quick things. I don't know if you saw my post in Troll Skull. I have a class that I'm going to at 2:30. I'm going to be leaving here in a little bit to go get ready and stuff. To go over to my mom's house. I'm going to try to be back for D&D, but
that's fine.
My mom might need me for some things, so
that's just fine.
The other thing that I was going to tell you, did you know how we were complaining about how you can't like teleport back to the entrance of a dungeon in Diablo?
Mm-hmm.
Did you know there's a way to do that?
Mm-hmm. But it doesn't always work.
So what I discovered is just opening the map and clicking on the entrance. And when you click on the entrance, it says exit the dungeon. And when you say yes, it teleports you to the entrance, like right outside.
Huh.
So it took me until almost the end of my playthrough to figure that out. So I figured I would share it if it hadn't been discovered yet.
Yeah, because in the emote wheel, there is a teleport to beginning of dungeon.
But, see, I didn't even see that one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there, but probably like 60% of the time it's X'd out and you can't do it.
For instance, you can decide
weird.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well.
But yeah, that's how we've been doing it.
Okay.
Because we discovered that in the beta.
The contract board is
okay.
all the side faction assignments.
So I'm kind of liking how they keep you engaged with just like different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Having to go back and like, oh my god, the Tree of Whispers is probably the most disturbing thing they've ever designed. So I like the bounty hunting for that. And
I'm thinking like legitimately, for some reason, is this right? I gotta double check this time one more time. It's saying that the Capcom showcase starts at 3 Pacific. So
another 3 hours?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I may just end this one and come back for it at 3.
Oh, you're just going to do the Final Fantasy thing until then?
No, because there's no need to go through 3 hours of that. What we might do is pull out, I believe they launched a demo last night.
Of 16?
Yeah, so what I might do is showcase that.
Okay.
Because I haven't looked at that yet. But first, I'm going to eat, and so I'm happy to let them continue talking about Assassin's Creed Mirage, which looks very good. But one of the things they kept saying is they're going back to the, what made the series great in the beginning, and I see no evidence of a dual story gameplay, which I thought was the animus and the whole thing was like the draw of Assassin's Creed for me.
There were a lot of people, like, as the game progressed, there were two separate camps. There were a lot of people that really liked Desmond as a character, and then there were other people that were like, why the hell are we flopping between modern day and history? Why can't this just be back in the past? And when Desmond's character arc finally ended, I started feling like the game felt a little aimless.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Black Flag, and I really enjoyed Origins, probably more so because ancient Egypt has always kind of fascinated me.
Yeah.
And so I loved exploring Origins, but once they went to Odyssey, I was like, the game is too big for me to retain like big picture interest in what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have 50 million things for me to accomplish, and only one of them is, hey, this is how you continue the story. So I'm the Assassin's Creed I'm really excited for. So Code Red sounds pretty neat because that's feudal Japan, but the one that I really want to play is Hex, but that doesn't come out for like a couple more years at least, I think.
Yeah.
That's the first one I've seen in a while that just, I love the premise of the witch hunts. So that's going to be kind of an interesting story to explore, I think.
Yeah, they showed off the Crew Motorfest, which
the racing game.
Yeah, I would have been excited about, except Ken and I picked up the Crew 2.
I remember you saying that.
And they did like the most lazy and cheap thing possible, in that if you are beating the AI rubber bands.
Yeah, you talked about that. Their idea was to always keep it tense and challenging, but
yeah, no, give me the, hey, I finally beat them and they're in my rearview mirror, and let me, screw up the race if I screw up the race. But the point is like, when they can rubber band faster than you can possibly ever drive, that is not fun. That's cheap to me. And so I'm not, until I see that is not the case in this one, I'm not getting excited about it at all, personally.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a really cheap way to cheat players out of their good driving.
Well, and like, I remember, God, was it Need for Speed Carbon? Need for Speed Carbon in the Canyon races had this point system, and your points were always ticking down to 0.
Mm-hmm.
But the closer you got to the end of the race, and the tighter the spread was between you and the AI opponent, the faster the points went away. And there were several times where I got to within fractions of a second from the finish line, and I would lose just because my points would run out, not because the guy had beaten me.
Well,
I would be
that sounds
ahead
like
of him.
A horrible system also.
Yeah, it was like, I love those canyon races. Like, if they made a Need for Speed that focused on those, I would be 100% in. But now with that, like, it makes me think of Flamin' Finger at Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that where you have to draw through the maze really quick?
Yeah.
I was just like, why does my personal speed also matter when all this race's objective is to beat the guy to the end of the run?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that one for the Crew sounds like hot buttered dog shit, dude.
I'm streaming.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was mad as hell, dude.
Yeah, no, I get it. What we could do also, since this is no longer going, I was not able to get to the accessibility showcase, and that would be a good one to watch through as well. No, not the Xbox. There we go. Accessibility Summer Showcase. That is 43 minutes long. Let's give it a go.
I tried. I sent in, when I was streaming actively, I sent in a request. Speaking of the accessibility, I sent a request to Able Gamers and, kind of told them my story and what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I never heard back from them. Like, never a response or anything. And I was like, oh, all right. Because the story of Able Gamers is what got me. An Air Force guy had a friend that had MS. And that's why he started it.
Right.
And I'm like, boy, that hits close.
Here, I've shared it in Discord if you want to watch along.
All right. Yeah, I'll watch for a few minutes. I gotta
like
I said, I gotta get up and head
With
out.
a number of disabilities that impact things like my memory, sensory processing, coordination, focus, and hearing. And as such, I wanted to create a space during the week of E3/Summer Games Fest
/ not E3.
whatever we're calling the deluge of Summer Game announcement live streams this year, where disabled gamers could be confident that if a game trailer seemed interesting to them, they would know upfront if the game was likely to be playable by them or not when it releases. Basically, I want this to be a space where disabled gamers can get in on the excitement of finding out about new and upcoming video games, with less risk of finding out later that a cool-looking game that you've seen today isn't going to be something that you can play when it actually releases.
I think this is a super smart idea.
Recently released and upcoming video
I'm
games.
also liking the companies that are participating in more accessibility options.
Yeah.
And from disabled game developers,
Even as established
about how they
of
approach
devs,
creating the kinds
so.
of accessible designs that they personally need when gaming. Not every video game shown here today is going to be playable by every disabled gamer. Disability is often a spectrum of overlapping distinct needs, and it's very difficult to make one game that is accessible to everyone.
Yeah.
But my hope is that by the end of this roughly 40-minute long showcase, you'll see at least one game that looks cool and meets your specific accessibility needs. So, without any further introduction, let's jump into the first batch of game trailers.
There's several disabled gamers that I go and watch on Twitch every once in a while. There's one you might like. He plays Street Fighter with his face. And he wins.
In Mythric, you play as Alex, who has been shipwrecked on an island inhabited by the Greek gods. You'll need to befriend them and help get their memories back to uncover the mystery of Ambrosia Island. Making friends is integral to the gameplay of Mythric. You'll get to know the gods by talking to and learning about them. Naturally, many features in Mythric help make reading the dialogue accessible. The text is in a readable sans serif typeface by default. Text bubbles are available in light or dark modes, so pick whichever you prefer. The gods make great conversationalists, and players can choose to press a button to confirm reading or allow the dialogue to autoplay at a fast, medium, or slow pace. The dialogue
I'm going
can
to
be
pause this for a
customized
second.
even further by having the text scroll.
I mean, the interesting thing about this to me is they basically have to cut a second trailer to
show you the
showcase the accessibility in progress. And I think
Yeah.
that's super cool.
Or by having it show up all at once. Track objectives around the island using a wonderful gadget called the Ambrosidex that boasts a high contrast journal and inventory system. The Ambrosidex also has a radar function that uses sound effects, visuals, and haptics to let you know when you're close to finding a hidden treasure. Ambrosia Island is alive with discoveries, sights and sounds, and adorable little creatures. You'll explore the island using a stable, dynamic tracking camera and can enhance your experience by toggling haptics or button press sprint. You can even customize your entire playthrough with full button remapping. And you won't need sound to enjoy the ambiance of Ambrosia Island. Mythric includes captions for ambient and environment sound effects, so you can feel immersed in the vibrant surroundings with or without sound. Thank you for watching, and we can't wait to see you on the sun-kissed beaches in Mythric Ambrosia Island.
So I was just sitting here thinking about something that we were watching the other day with the Fusion Pro.
full of gentle puzzles to solve.
I'm going to be interested to see how they integrate eye tracking and the hand clicking for gaming.
And help out your friends and neighbors.
Yeah.
Or help the coasting crew set sail and discover.
And I'm absolutely saving money for that. Like, I'm going to look at the reviews before I commit, but
Take a break
I'm putting money aside for that
and
thing.
make music with magical instruments. Strum the A.
I'll go to an Apple store to check it
and
out.
Put on a magical concert
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
your
There's one at the
very
mall
own.
here.
And there's no need to rush. Play at your own pace. Explore the valleys of Avishire, Raina Falls, Coaston, and Westbridge in your
That'll
own
be the first Mac I've owned since
Accessibility
I
is
lived at
the
home,
heart of
like
Sky.
pre-military lived at home.
I have one right now, so I'm super jazzed about the whole look at the Mac screen and it automatically appears up
Pulls
there.
it into your
Yeah.
environment, yeah. I was telling my coworkers about it, and I work with several people that are kind of old soul hippies, and they're just like, I don't know how I feel about that thing, man. I'm like, yeah, I don't really either,
Corners
but
of the world. Sky Tales, your playful world awaits.
Hi, I'm Radaz. I'm a disabled content creator and Twitch ambassador. I'm a white woman with brown hair, wearing a grey t-shirt with white outside seams. I live with multiple chronic illnesses, Sjogren, CFS, fibro, to name a few, which leave me with both mobility and cognitive accessibility related needs. I really appreciate games that give me the ability to remove button mashing, or set longer windows on reaction time events, and really any kind of decent quest log or map, just so I don't get too lost in the world. This next game not only has accessibility features that are beneficial for me, but it also just looks awesome. The vibrant pixel art, the chiptune soundtrack, and varied boss fights are a perfect accompaniment to a really cool lesbian love story. This is Boss Game, the final boss is my heart.
Hey there, my name is Lily Valine, and I'm the lead developer of Boss Game, the final boss is my heart. Boss Game is a lesbian romance boss rush. You play as Sophie and Anna, two broke girlfriends who hunt devils to pay their rent. The game features lightning-fast, rhythmic boss battles in a unique two-hero battle system. Sophie and Anna fight simultaneously in order to build combos, keep each other alive, and unleash super attacks. In between boss fights, you'll flirt with your girlfriend, fight your corrupt employer, and uncover the dark secrets of Mammon City, all while texting friends and enemies. Boss Game is all about using the power of love to defeat huge, ridiculous bosses. Because of the focus on hectic battles, I knew right away that I wanted to include a wide variety of gameplay options. Boss Game includes several different ways to adjust the experience and challenge, including granular settings for things like gameplay speed and bonus hero damage. These settings can be changed in large or small increments. Enabling the automatic block option will cause Sophie and Anna to activate their shields automatically upon taking damage, which reduces the need for quick reactions. The invincibility option makes it impossible to lose a battle, which allows players to avoid reaching a dead end. I've added a variety of different options so that people can experiment and find what works best for them. I've found that players are very capable of using these settings to create an engaging level of gameplay that suits their ability and how they like to play. Boss Game, The Final Boss is My Heart, is out now on Android and iOS, and will be released this July on Steam and itch.io. Thank you so much for joining me. Please have a lovely day, and enjoy the rest of the showcase.
Hello, my name is Luis Alonso, and I'm the game developer for Spaceboat. I'm here today to talk to you about how I tackle the task of accessibility. What most people don't know about me is that I'm actually physically disabled myself, so I take accessibility very seriously. Despite being a triple amputee, I can't claim to be an expert in all forms of accessibility, but I can break down how I approach making Spaceboat as accessible as possible. As a result, I made sure that the game could be played comfortably with a controller and without the need for multiple button combinations for successful game progression. As someone who has beaten every Soulsborne game in existence but cannot play games like Metroid Dread, I can tell you this is paramount for people with physical disabilities. When people with cerebral palsy reached out to let us know they enjoyed playing the game, I knew that at least on that front, I'd been successful. Now let's consider people with hearing disabilities. Since Spaceboat is a narrative-heavy game, it was important to make it possible to read every voice line that was spoken. As a result, I added subtitles when full dialogue text boxes were not shown. For the visually impaired, I ran the game with multiple simulated color blindness types, and realized that the bright, colorful, and high-contrast art direction worked rather effectively. In the case of the most common types of color blindness, like deuteranopia, it actually turned into an advantage since key markers would pop out. Recently, we added more text for those with extremely uncommon types of color
I didn't know that.
For game mechanics that rely too much on colors.
I'm red-green, mostly red-green colorblind.
Please contact us at contact@recombobulator.ca. Thank you.
Hey, I'm Carrie. I'm the senior designer of accessibility at Rebellion, and I'm here to chat a bit
Games
about
like
my
Battlefield.
Yeah,
I always have to go in and change like the friend-fo color identifiers and all that stuff.
One of our core pillars of the game
Because
is being
I
able
can't
to
see
play
them all the
your own
time.
way, as we believe that anyone can be an elite. I joined at the end of the project, and there were already a great range of accessibility options and considerations that had gone into the game. Things like clear subtitles with speaker names, aim assists, and a highly customizable difficulty. Since release, we were able to implement lots of meaningful accessibility options in updates like aim toggle, automatic forward movement, auto traversal options, and colorblind palettes. Through our Discord channel, we've been able to get a lot of feedback that's really helped us to address the barriers that our players were facing, and we have a range of ways to get in touch if you have any feedback for future titles. That's what we absolutely love, because there should be nothing about us without it.
Sniper Elite's such a good game too.
You can read all about
Which
the full
one?
suite of options
Sniper Elite.
available on our new accessibility page on
It's
rebellion.com/accessibility/sniper-elite-5. There's also a link to give your own feedback or join our Discord. We're proud to support the Accessibility Summer Showcase, and as part of that we've donated some Sniper Elite 5 keys for a giveaway. So email laurakbuzzofficial@gmail.com before midnight BST on Friday the
do you have the
16th
MetaQuest?
to enter a random draw for a game key.
MetaQuest.
So email the subject line
Yeah,
Sniper Elite
it's
giveaway and
Oh yeah,
name your
the MetaQuest
Good
2.
luck, Cypress.
Actually.
Yeah.
Hi.
Is it worth it?
I'm the UX director at Mighty Owl Studios. Our newest title, A Night in the Attic, gave our team a really unique opportunity to work with accessibility features in VR, and I'd like to share some with you today.
Let me pause
Using
this
the game
for a second.
accessibility guideline.
Okay.
So here's my deal. I have had every major system that's been out. Don't have some of the Picos or Picos or some of the new ones we've not gotten to try yet. But I will say the Quest is number one. The price to entry is very good.
Yeah.
The battery, however, is very bad.
Yes.
It
like
is
less than 2 hours bad.
Like probably 30 to 40 minutes bad.
Yeah, it depends on the game you're playing or what you're doing.
No,
There's
that doesn't
pass through to charge while playing.
You can. Yes, you can, but that, and I'll explain why. This kind of defeats the purpose for a lot of games. I also have the Vive, which is one of the most expensive and the bulkiest,
one.
and I have to install the sensors in the room, etc. That thing is great, except that the headset's really heavy, and you're tethered. Although you can get it now, like if you get one now, it's not going to have a tether, but mine is tethered. However, the good part about it is Steam.
Yeah.
And the big deal there is that not only can you play Steam VR games, which are plentiful and cheap, but you can also run non-Steam VR games. There's no special trick to sideload anything or anything like that. You just basically open the game and run it. And that's all you have to do. And since I have that, the MetaQuest actually has an awesome thing where I can pair with a computer that's nearby, and I can actually use my Steam library or run Steam games. So I have the best of both worlds in that respect. If you're plugged in, however, to, you're not going to be able to walk around unless you got a really long plug or really long cable. So that's kind of the big consideration for it. They do make an expanded battery pack. I don't know what the time on it is, but it's still going to be better than 40 minutes. So,
and you don't use theirs necessarily.
Right. So I would recommend getting an extended battery pack if you're going to get it. The experience.
Yeah, I have a really long cable.
The experience is great. Like, the visual fidelity is probably, I'd say, close to 3x what my original Vive is.
Okay.
Because I can still see screen dooring on my original Vive. You know what I mean by that, right?
Mm-mm.
So, have you ever stood in front of a screen door, a mesh screen door, and looked through it at close range?
It makes it grainy.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. You can see the dots, the pattern of dots, if you look close enough on most games. Now, granted, does that really stop your immersion? No, but I mean, the point is it looks better on the MetaQuest by a long range. It's very good. The hand controllers are awesome. They fit comfortably in your hands, and you can find the buttons, and it will take you I like to say that there's a kinetic vocabulary you learn when you're doing VR. You will find it very quickly with the MetaQuest 2.
Interesting.
The controllers are very intuitive, and they make it really easy. Plus, it does have not hand tracking, but thumb tracking, and kind of does do hand tracking. In terms of you will see in games that support it, like you can move your thumb around and it moves around in real time and things, and sometimes for your hands also. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's actually a really good bit of kit. The headset is not heavy. I can't tell you for prolonged use because I don't have a battery for it, and I generally don't run it with it plugged in. So I can't tell you if you start to get fatigued forward. I still say the PSVR. I have not used the 2. The PSVR 1 is probably like the heaviest of all the headsets, but because it's engineered so well, it's balanced on your head, so you get like zero fatigue for long bouts of use.
You get like no neck strain or anything.
Right. That's exactly it. And I can't say for the MetaQuest 2 what a long-term situation play session would lead to. It doesn't feel very forward leaning like the older ones.
I've noticed it though.
You
over
have
a
noticed
long,
it?
yeah,
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
I will say there are accessories you can get that make it 1,000,000 times better.
Okay.
And they aren't super expensive. There's really I recommend getting the hand straps.
It started up when we were looking at the Vision Pro. I was like,
So the big thing, the biggest thing for me is it is a completely closed ecosystem, and there are ways to sideload programs on there, and it's a pain in the ass. So that's the only downside to it, really, in my opinion, is you're going to be stuck with whatever's on the store. You can't check out, like, if you go into a Reddit thread and somebody's like, I'm making a VR toilet plunger, you want to go check it out. Too bad. You're not going to be able to unless you jailbreak.
Not through their store. You can sideload.
Right,
I think
but it's a pain in the ass. It's not.
It is a pain.
It's a real pain in the ass. You
can hook it directly to your PC and play games through it that way also.
You can. Well, I mean, you can do it wirelessly too. You don't have to hook it directly in. But
I definitely recommend checking out, though. I think they're coming out with a new version of it that has slightly higher resolution, so it might be worth looking at. I'll be right back out of work.
I will say that the refresh rates have gone up as well, and so I have far less motion sickness than I did in the originals.
Okay.
And even then, I didn't have a ton of motion sickness, but every once in a while there'd be that game where there was the disconnect between my brain and whatever their locomotion system is, and then I would be like, not good, and quit. But I haven't had anything like that in any of the MetaQuest 2 games.
That's one of the things that I'm so excited for with the Vision is that your equilibrium doesn't get messed up because you are looking at the room you believe you're supposed to be looking at.
Right. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
So that's one of the reasons I'm excited about it, because motion sickness is a problem for me.
Yeah, same here. And I was actually surprised how few games I actually had that problem in the original batch of VR games. I expected it to be more, and it actually was not, because I found very quickly that there were different. They've been very smart about figuring out locomotion systems that make sense. And one of the nice parts about the current crop of VR stuff is that you don't need to set up sensors around your room, and you can walk around in real time without any sensors, and it will move in a 1-to-1. It's teleporting is probably the most common, where you will like hold the right stick forward and it will make a rainbow arc, not rainbow, but like an arc like a rainbow with like a blue light, and it'll show you a little circle on the ground at the end of the blue light, and you know, oh, if I let go of the stick right now, that's where I'm going to teleport to. And it's just, and that's how they tackle it in many games. Now there are some games that like they'll have you put one of the controllers on your hip, and you like walk in place, and that's how you walk, and those aren't bad either. The ones that are the worst for me are generally the ones where you're pressing the stick to glide, I guess is the way to say that.
Oh yeah, and your body's like, why am I not moving?
Yeah, that does not work well for me. Those kind of games do not work well. Swinging games, surprisingly, no problem. Like Spider-Man stuff, I've had zero problem with anything like that. This new Assassin's Creed, though, that they were showing off today, I'm looking at it going, how is that going to work? I'm really concerned about that. So, yeah. But, yeah, but, yeah, I would say it definitely is worth it. If they are bringing out a new one, I'd wait till it launches before getting it.
Some features we've added to reduce cognitive load
All
on
right.
our players.
On that note, I need to head out because I got to get ready to go. So I'll be back in a little while.
Sounds good.
Tool actions which
Thanks for coming and hanging out. All right,
which
bye.
you can access anytime. Player-controlled dialogue progression that lets you know where in space the dialogue is taking place, and levels that are about 5 to 15 minutes long to enable frequent breaks. To help with visual accessibility, we've used captions for illustrated manuscripts and text-only dialogue, a high-contrast and easy-to-read font, UI elements that you can grab and move around to enhance readability, and no information is conveyed through color alone. The audio in A Night in the Attic features independently controlled levels for music and sound effects, plus you can toggle monaural or binaural sound.
I still think this is so cool.
Finally, physical accessibility has been a really interesting challenge in VR. A Night in the Attic features comfort considerations like fully seated gameplay, keeping actions within an arm's length, and minimal requirement to bend or twist. There are 3 ways to control Guinevere: one-handed tilt, two-handed tilt, or with either analog stick. By incorporating best practices and playtesting feedback where possible, we've worked hard to make sure A Night in the Attic is a comfortable and enjoyable experience.
That's cool.
For our players.
I mean, I think the whole idea of this showcase is so cool.
I'm the developer of Upheaval, a text-based open-world fantasy adventure game. In just 30 in-game days, the enigmatic magician will arrive. You have until then to track down magical treasures and aid or interfere with people and factions that surround your small village. Upheaval is turn-based, so you can always take as much time as you want to plan your next move. And if the in-game time limit of 30 days is too short, turn on relaxed mode and take as many in-game days as you want to explore everything the game has to offer. You can play Upheaval completely using just your keyboard or using just your mouse or touchscreen. For blind players, the
Welcome back.
version of Upheaval
I was just saying
supports
this. The whole
screen readers like
idea of
NVDA.
this showcase is so
Includes full
cool.
text descriptions of the
To
graphical
me.
versions important
Of which one?
It's the accessibility summer showcase.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I because of my meetings and stuff today, I had to miss a bunch of.
No, you're
and
good.
with or without background graphics.
So people have
adjust
basically
volume for
made
music,
these
ambiance, and sound
alternate
effects
trailers for their games to
the
talk
sound
about the
experience
accessibility options in their
You can
games.
play Upheaval's free
And
demo
like
and early access alpha
almost
right
none of
now
these
on
games I've heard of.
itch.io, or wishlist Upheaval on Steam.
That's
to get
interesting. So it's
emails when the full
new
version
games you're being introduced to as well, not
Yeah.
just.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
or any
Well, and the
issue
nice thing about that is if they give more
Join the
attention
Discord
to
to chat
these
with me
features
at
they're adding
upheavalgaming.com.
in a format like this, it hopefully will encourage other games to do the same.
My name is Rebia,
Yeah.
and I'm a
Sniper
disabled
Elite was in
video
here, which is
content
cool.
creator from Norway.
Nice.
I'm a 30-year-old woman.
Yeah, that's a
sitting
slightly
in my
bigger one.
really cozy gaming room. I have red hair, I have black heavy eyeliner, and I have a lavender knitted sweater. I have been ill my whole life, and due to this, accessibility is something that is really dear to my heart. I'm born with something called cerebral palsy, and later in life I've gotten a bunch more of diagnostic, some of them like PTSD and rheumatoid arthritis. All of these problems affect my everyday life, mostly in the form of like brain fog, forgetfulness, spasms, tremors, a lot of pain and a bunch of fatigue. I am lucky enough though to have medication that keeps my immune system at bay, but if I have a bad day, I am dependent on accessibility to be able to play my favorite games. That can be things like puzzle guides, difficulty modes, the ability to pause the game whenever, or the ability to switch between a controller or a keyboard, or just good tutorials in-game. And this is why I am honored to introduce this next game that not only thought about my need for being able to switch between different controllers, but also make sure that a player never loses a level and is always able to progress in the story. This is Princess Farmer by Whitethorn Games and Samurai B Games.
Princess Farmer is a match-3 visual novel with lots of queer and diverse representation, created with accessibility in mind. Charlene, the game designer, artist, and story creator of the game, injured her hands a few years ago. One of the things that helped keep her spirits up while she healed was playing Switch games with one hand. She decided that she wanted to make a game that was easy to pick up and play with just one hand. One of Princess Farmer's main accessibility features is its gameplay styles. Sometimes folks just want to chill and not have to think about what they're doing. Action Bunny mode allows players to do just that. And if a player wants a challenge, planning out their moves carefully to make or avoid specific matches, there's Puzzle Bunny. And for those players who just can't make up their mind, Balance Bunny combines the two. The game will never punish you. The worst that can happen is that Gaia will be slightly less thrilled when you finish a level, and reward you with fewer heart coins. But you'll still advance and have many more chances to make Mother Gaia bounce with glee. There are about a zillion ways to control Princess Farmer. Multiple buttons work on gamepads, the arrow or WASD keys on the keyboard, and on mobile you can either tap or swipe the screen.
A lot of these are also mobile, which is
Gaia's
interesting.
Valley as suited to your needs as possible, including haptic control, separate audio channels, high contrast for visibility, visual cues that don't rely on just color, font control, no screen shake, and optional match flashing. Most of all, we really just want players to enjoy the warm hug that is Princess Farmer. The story is lighthearted and filled with mystery, cheeky flirting, and supportive friends who know you're doing your best. You'll always find a cheerful welcome in Gaia's Valley.
Botany Manor is a first-person puzzle game developed by Balloon Studios and published by Whitethorn Games. You play as Arabella Green, a retired botanist living in a beautiful, picturesque manor. While exploring the manor, you'll discover clues and research that will help you
this
unlock
one's not
the
out
mysteries
yet.
of forgotten flora.
We saw it
Admire
in
the
a
manor
previous
through
one.
Arabella's eyes.
Oh, yeah.
With field of view, motion sensitivity, and camera smoothing
It looks pretty
sliders.
cool.
Invertible
Yeah.
camera controls help ensure you have a familiar experience. Inspect postcards, books, posters, and more around the manor for information about your plants. When deciphering these clues, text overlays can assist with the details that may be hard to see in your playing environment. The overlay is a high-contrast, sans serif text overlay that displays on screen. You don't need to rush your time in Botany Manor. There are no time limits to solve puzzles, so feel free to explore the halls and gardens during your
That's
stay.
awesome.
If you do, however, feel the rush of being on the brink of a discovery, you can toggle sprint with a single button press. Botany Manor has an optional single-stick mode that allows you to play using a single analog stick for movement. You'll have a toggle or hold option for a look-around view that you can use to stand still while you use the analog stick to observe your surroundings instead of move. Here, we're using single-stick mode and have the camera customization set to increase your field of view and camera smoothness. Take your time researching, relaxing, and uncovering the mysteries of long-lost flora in Botany Manor.
Super cool.
Hi everyone, Laura here again. Thank you so much for being here and watching the very first Accessibility Summer Showcase. I would like to take a quick moment at this point in the showcase to thank I Need Diverse Games, whose sponsorship of the showcase's debut year has made it possible to commission art assets for the event, as well as creating American Sign Language, British Sign Language, and audio-described versions of the presentation. We've got a bunch of games still to showcase today.
Yeah, that was the other interesting thing.
Thank you as well to all of the developers who brought games
Is
along to
they
the
had
showcase today.
they had 5 different versions of the stream.
And I appreciate every game
Oh, wow.
One of them was someone doing ASL. Another one was
make the Accessibility Summer Showcase an annual event going
it was a
growing the scope and scale of the event over time.
audio only version.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
That described all the things that were happening.
Game trailers and news. So let's get back into things. Starting with one of 2023's most impressive examples of accessibility improvements that were added in a post-launch update.
I think they had one that had no audio.
This day started like any other.
Judged for your sins.
A true nightmare.
Have you ever murdered someone? What? Answer the question.
Hello, I'm Fabrice from Cocat, a French solo game developer. For 6 years I've been making Brock the Investigator, which combines a narrative adventure game with beat-em-up action. Brock offers a wide range of accessibility features, in particular for blind gamers. The full game is voiced, including
Audio descriptions of characters, locations, and scenes. That's crazy.
And audio descriptions were added. Before this project, I had no idea there was no big adventure game like this playable for visually impaired gamers.
Oh, that's
so
great.
At least more players are now able to enjoy it.
Because it'd have to take so much more work.
Yeah, but still, that's so cool.
Brock is available now on PC and consoles, and you can try out the demo on all platforms.
Hi, my name is Thomas Tvorek, also known as Lirin. I was working on Brock the Investigator as an accessibility consultant. This is my first project on such a large scale, and I can tell you this was a really beautiful adventure. Mostly I was working on text-to-speech and how to improve combat and puzzles for the blind people, while Cowcat did the magic based on my feedback and my work. And I hope you've enjoyed Brock the Investigator, and if not, go and grab it. This is really fantastic game with excellent voice acting, story, and music. And I hope you like the accessibility features we've implemented.
Hello, I'm Onion Blaze, and I'm currently working on a game called Humig. It's a short everyday life adventure of 2 school kids in a peaceful town, making friends with a bunch of lively people and creating unforgettable memories. The game's story is split into small bite-sized episodes where you can explore, learn more about the characters, and find collectibles for minigames.
And I mean, to be honest,
and relax with cats and dogs.
a lot of us don't think in these terms,
right?
Which we should,
changing
but
how they interact with the world. Moving your character in the game can be done either manually,
Yeah, just things you don't consider until you're faced with that challenge.
or by clicking on interactable icons with a mouse. So far, the game allows clipboard-based text-to-speech for most of its systems, with proper support for it planned before release. There's also audio subtitles, audio descriptions, and separate audio volumes for background music, ambient sounds, and sound effects. Speed or difficulty options for dialogues, in-game time, or minigames are also present, alongside various screen and graphic settings like window type, brightness, shadow and particle quality, camera motion, and many more. There's still a lot of things to work on before the game is finished, but some planned features are general UI size and color settings, a simple map, event guides and recaps, full controller mapping, and more limited control options, like being able to play with just one button or by making any sound with a microphone. Humig is currently planned for Windows, Mac, and Linux, both on itch and Steam. I'm designing the game to be as accessible as I can with my current resources, so if you're interested and would like to see more of it, please share it to your friends, wishlist it on Steam, or become a member on Ko-fi, where I share frequent updates about Himig and other things. Thank you, stay safe, and have a good day.
Hi, I'm Vivek Gohill, an accessibility consultant and journalist. Gaming is an integral part of my DNA. It's a vital coping mechanism for living with the challenges of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Gaming gives me the freedom to meet aliens, become a superhero, or explore environments that I would never be able to experience. Ultimately, gaming brings me joy. Accessibility options unlock my potential, showcasing my abilities instead of highlighting my limitations by removing any unnecessary barriers. Recently, Star Wars Jedi Survivor had good accessibility design. It included full button remapping, a core accessibility feature I require so that controls are positioned comfortably to deal with my limited reach and dexterity. The option to slow down game speed allows me enough time to complete intense traversal gameplay. I have the skills to complete the task, but I have slower reaction times. Accessibility manages this difference and reduces frustration. On a higher level, accessibility is an integral aspect of game design, without which game developers are alienated a key user base. Game developers should collaborate with accessibility consultants, as lived experiences are vital to provide and progress innovation. As the accessibility saying goes, don't do anything about us without us.
Can you retain your humanity while fighting against the corporate biotech conspiracy? This is Solid State, a 3D, choice-driven cyberpunk and hope-punk visual novel. Play as the young hacker Chloe, who confronts political plots as she fights for her friends and her city. Your choices in building up relationships and communities can revolutionize into more or less freedoms and human rights. In a game of 31 fully illustrated characters, you can romance Torrent, a local who shares Chloe's rare intuitive hacking abilities. Swaley, a community leader who grapples with expectations on different levels of governance. And Alden, an old flame who was Chloe's first love in university. Chloe's hacking allows her to take on another person's identity and read their encrypted data. With such abilities, what does it mean to speak your truth responsibly? In a world where humanity's rights are up on the chopping board of corporate greed, will Chloe's actions incite violent backlash or bloom into hope? All accessibility features can be toggled at any time. We have a toggle for open dyslexic font for all of our text to make our game more readable. There is a full history log of previously read text for each scene. Text speed can be adjusted. There is a selection of highlight colors to show which character is speaking, which aids with visual legibility and color blindness. There is no time limits on making choices in-game, and there are no flashing lights. Coming to Steam and Xbox in 2023, your choices, mobilized.
Again, that is another
The flashing lights thing is huge.
Yeah.
Because how many games have that warning at the beginning?
My friend Lorcade asked me to stop by and tell a brief story about why accessibility matters to me. Well, there's obviously a lot of stories, and they take a lot of time, so I'm going to try to tell you the shortest story that I know that made a difference in my life. A long time ago, young Steve really enjoyed hanging out with his friends. He was a very not social kid. Young Steve had no idea how to talk to people or how to make friends, or was scared of being made fun of in so many ways. But the one thing I was not scared of was playing video games. Well, I enjoyed playing games, but I always did them alone. And my friends were kind of going in the opposite direction. In high school, they stopped wanting to go play games and wanted to go to the world, and they wanted to go out and enjoy hotel parties away from the adults. They wanted to go to the clubs for under 18s, and they wanted to have fun in the real world. But the problem was, outside of the club was my mortal enemy, the single stair. Really annoying thing I could not get over because apparently ramps weren't built back in 1992. Anyway, thing is, I had a friend who knew that I was struggling with this, and because of that, invited me over to his place. And despite the fact that he also had the same invites to go to these parties and whatnot, would bring me over to his house, which was also inaccessible with another staircases, and would bring out his Nintendo to his garage, and we would sit out in his garage and we would play video games together. And that was our connection point, was that he took the time and understanding to realize that I was being left out of our friendship circle that I had always been included in, not purposely, but because people didn't realize that wheelchairs couldn't go where they wanted me to be able to go. And he found a way around that by introducing me to video games, by keeping me in video games as a social aspect. And so, in his garage, we would sit and play Mortal Kombat fighting games, and we would laugh at each other, getting pwned and whatever else you got back in the 1990s. And we stayed connected through all those years because video games allowed us to stay despite a hard time. And I think everyone should have opportunities where maybe life is boxing you out a little bit, and your disabilities are getting in the way of things that you'd otherwise really enjoy. Well, in the world of video games, it shouldn't be like that. We can put accessibility in games, and having the ability to play games, no matter where you are, is a super important part of remaining accessible.
Nine Hearts is a light-hearted and wholesome 3D narrative-driven adventure about coming to terms with grief and recapturing the freedom of exploring nature. You play as Tyke, who is revisiting hearts to overcome the physical and mental mountains set before him. The team at Hyperluminal are committed to making games better, and for us that includes striving to make our games as inclusive and accessible as we can. We took part in an inclusive design accelerator in 2022 that kickstarted the process of us building accessible design practices into the culture of our studio. A key concern for our focus group arose around the need to have clear signposting of what accessibility options were available and where to find them. We have chosen to address this in two ways. Firstly, by creating a dedicated accessibility onboarding flow for first-time players, where they can set a few basic accessibility options before they
stream
jump into
audio's
gameplay.
freaking.
Okay.
We also aimed to provide immediate and quick access to the full suite of options from our settings menu by housing them under a dedicated accessibility heading.
Why is it not showing me?
10 settings planned for release, with 2 in the development phase right now.
Why are you doing that?
Color
There we go.
blocking, which applies block colors to key characters and interactable elements.
So that's actually a really good idea. They said one of the things they did was the first time you boot the game, it walks you through all the accessibility options.
Right, that's great.
That's a great idea.
With simpler single button press inputs, allowing
Yeah, because I might not be able to find the menu.
joint pain or upper body dexterity limitations. Our future plans include options for high contrast and highlight interactable modes, settings for scaling UI and fonts and for changing font styles, as well as options for turning on contextual subtitles for animated cutscenes and full controller remapping support. Beyond Pine Hearts, we're also focused on developing an approach to sustainably delivering accessibility across all of our future games. As a small indie development studio, finding time and resources to invest in developing solutions to some of the accessibility challenges we face can be difficult. So we wanted to find a way to carry effort from project to project through our own internal settings and accessibility toolkit. The Settings and Accessibility Toolkit is a plugin for the Unity engine, which our development team has built as a customizable framework for settings that can be easily ported across projects.
That's awesome.
This also gives us access to developer-facing settings, which can help us to identify and reduce accessibility barriers as we go through development. An example of this is our color blindness filters, which allow artists and QA to turn on specific filters while testing the game, making it easier to identify issues with contrast and the readability of characters and interactables against background elements. Pine Hearts will launch in early 2024 on Steam and Switch, but you can follow our progress in the meantime via our Twitter and Steam pages.
I'm detecting group energy signatures.
Autistic people love playing games, but games aren't designed for autistic people. They can be too loud, they can be too bright, they can be too stressful.
Welcome to Space Station Norpopolis, where the groups have got loose after a lab accident. You have to use your Vacuumizer 5000 to help friendly robot Blink recapture them before Mr. Norp finds out. The game is full of features to help autistic people enjoy the game. There's no fail state, no stressful time limits. You can skip challenges, repeat tasks, and go at your own speed. If you get overstimulated, hit the smartwatch and come straight out of the game to a calm space where you can recover. Then rejoin the game when you're ready. There's an accessibility menu to fine-tune the game to your particular sensitivities, and a multitude of other features designed into every level. Blink in the Vacuum of Space has been designed from the ground up for autistic people, to put them in control so they can enjoy the game and just be themselves.
Autistic people are proud of their autism. It isn't something that needs to be fixed. It's something that needs to be supported. That's why we've created Blink in the Vacuum of Space.
Wow, groups, so ominous.
Blink and the Vacuum of Space.
So, let's get to it, shall we?
We're nearing the end of the Accessibility Summer Showcase 2023, with the next trailer being our last one of the day, announcing a release date for a game that a lot of people in the gaming accessibility space have been looking forward to for the past few months. All that remains to be said is thank you to every game developer out there that's taking the fight for improved accessibility seriously, every disabled gamer that's speaking out about their experiences, and to everyone who tuned in today to watch the showcase. You can find out more about the games that were shown during today's showcase by checking out access-ability.uk, where we will have links to all of the day's trailers, as well as to every game that was showcased. I hope you all enjoy our final announcement, and hopefully we'll see you all again next year.
Hi everyone, I am Sightless Combat, accessibility consultant, gamer without sight, and content creator. Now if you're wondering why I use the term gamer without sight, I use it because legal blindness, often just shortened to being blind, can and often does include usable and or residual vision, which I've never had. It's basically a way of me saying, I can see absolutely nothing at all. And that brings us to a very interesting point. I'm really glad to be here. Thank you so much to the organisers for letting me participate in this event. It's an absolute privilege and an honour. But I'm here to introduce to you the next game in the lineup, a fantastic game that is from a genre that a lot of people would think you can't play without being able to see, namely a point-and-click game, and it is the wonderful Stories of Blossom, which has been rumoured and hinted at and demoed for a number of years in various fashions, and finally the amazing folks at Softleaf Studios are releasing it this year, and I am so excited for this, partly because I'm in the credits, but also because it's going to be a game that is fully playable without the need for sighted assistance in any capacity, which is always a fantastic thing to see when it's
That's
executed
amazing.
as well as this game does it. So without further ado, here is the new trailer for Stories of Blossom from Softleaf Studios.
Hi everyone, my name is Connor Bradley, Creative Director of Softleaf Studios. Today I am excited to be sharing a quick overview of the accessibility of our game, Stories of Blossom. From the very beginning, accessibility has been our main goal. So we've been working closely with those from the disabled and neurodiverse communities to help us remove barriers from our game. A lot of this work has been baked into the experience itself, such as the readability of each dialogue line, the design of our puzzles, and how we lay out information and our menus. We also have a large array of accessibility options that you can use to tweak the experience to your liking. For a full rundown of those, please visit our updated accessibilities page at softleafstudios.com. And now I am thrilled to announce we have a new trailer.
I believe I have a story that could help.
I wonder what she's getting up to.
It looked like they could use some help, and lots of it.
Let's see what we can do about that.
She came across a planet full of little fungi people.
Hello, little fella. I better get out of here before he realizes.
There once was a pirate that sailed the 7 seas.
And wore a pink tutu.
And wore a pink tutu.
Oh, look! Hidden treasure. In the backpack it goes.
You see, my dear, you have no need to worry.
How many tickles will it take to make an octopus laugh? 10 tickles.
Oh my god. I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that joke.
I figured.
Yeah. That was really cool. I'm glad I had a chance to go back. I'm sad it doesn't have more views, sadly. But I think for a first year, and they were at a really bad time. They were really early in the morning, like 8 a.m. Pacific time for us. But I actually had work conflict for it. But yeah, if you go to her page, I believe they had 5 different versions of the stream. I'm not sure where they're all, maybe under videos. Because I had originally come to check this out beforehand, and yeah, so they had an ASL interpreted one and English audio descriptions of everything that was happening on the screen. The main one that we just watched, and then a BSL. I don't know what BSL is. What is BSL? It's still sign language. BSL. Oh, it's British Sign Language. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that the UK had different sign language than ASL. That's very cool. I think we're going to take a quick break at this point. We will end this stream and we'll be back for the Capcom Showcase, which still has another 2 hours before it starts. So we'll come back for that. We'll throw it over. Oh, Iron Man Duck is on. We're going to raid Iron Man Duck. Raid Iron Man Duck. Crodad, thanks for hanging out. Shank, thanks for hanging out earlier. And we'll be back in a couple hours at 3 p.m. Pacific, or just before 3 p.m. Pacific, to cover the Capcom Showcase, which will be the last part of Not E3 for this year that we cover. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Until then, as always, be excellent to each other. And, of course, game on.
Game on.